Welcome back to Third Eye Weekly on BTRtoday.com, brought to you by AT&T. I'm your host, Zach.
I'm your host, Lisa.
Be sure to check out our new app that we have, Brewin, on the iTunes Store. It's available right now for all Apple products and will soon be available for Android. It's got everything that you love about BTRtoday.com.
That's true.
All streamlined, available on your mobile device so that you can read our content, you can listen to our podcasts, and you can watch us as you're doing your commute, as you're walking around, as you're going about your daily activities. It's really, really convenient and it's aesthetically pleasing, I think.
Yes, for sure. And be sure to check out our Android version coming out soon.
Yes. So it's
Positivity Week this week.
Yes, it is.
And we are talking about a more positive approach to how our universities evolve. So we speak with Dr. Jonathan Cole from Columbia University. He's a provost and a professor. And he talks with us about some of the architecture and some of the new structures he hopes to be placed into our universities moving forward.
Right, and I think one of the really interesting points he brings up at the end of our interview, which check out our podcast this week to hear the entire thing. He talks about the admissions process, and he talks about how nowadays, especially for these Ivy League schools, schools like Columbia that are really prestigious, the admissions counselors are looking for perfect, quote unquote, students across the board.
Yeah.
They're looking for someone who's going to excel in math and science and writing and humanities and everything, getting perfect scores across the board. And what that really results in is these sort of, for lack of a better word, automatons.
Yeah.
These people that are kind of devoid of one real identifiable passion because they're a jack of all trades, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to say it as they're really, really, really good sheep.
They're really good at following orders and
Yeah.
testing well and handing in their homework and being diligent at home. But sometimes you need those kind of cosmic rapscallions that push back against the order of things. That maybe they flunked their science and their math courses, but they're damn good writers and
Yeah.
they feel really passionately about it. Maybe you don't need to be really good at everything to succeed.
Yeah, I think he speaks to like a lack of quirkiness and character in some of the students at Ivy League schools because they're so caught up in approval, in gaining approval from administrators and parents and teachers, rather than finding their own passions and developing their own care about the world. So I think what he's trying to do is really change an administration process so that you can bring out that character, you can see that personality and that engagement and passion for one thing, and not necessarily try and confine them to this epitomized perfect ideal student.
Right.
Which is really great.
It is great. And Lisa and I come from two really different backgrounds in regards to admissions and quirk.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I went to SUNY Purchase, which is it's like the eccentric, offbeat, oddity child of the SUNY system. It's where all the artists go. So it was just all quirk. And then Lisa went to Manhattan College in the Bronx.
Yeah, which was a lot more cookie cutter human beings who weren't too crazy about thinking about anything outside of the bounds that their parents have given them since birth. So I was very much like a quirky one and didn't quite fit in with a lot of the mindset that was going on at that university.
Right. And so I guess what I want to know is, what do you think your experience would have been like if the admissions counselors had been, like Cole was talking about, more concerned with focusing on these kinds of quirky characteristics and characters and bringing more eccentricity and passion into the school?
Well, I think I would have shot for a more prestigious school, knowing that that's like they have a more welcoming and opening admission process.
Right.
So I would have shot for a school that really wanted to take my passion and help me hone with it, rather than, I think Manhattan College was great and I had a great experience. I loved the friends I made and the teachers were great, but there wasn't anybody provoking me to think beyond what I already had in my mind. There wasn't like any shattering of my preconceived notions.
Right.
A lot of it was just done by myself, like delving into books that I thought were interesting that they didn't really pose in the classroom. So I guess I would have like shot for a school that would hopefully would have like pried open my mind a little bit more and open up my passions for things.
Yeah, I think it's important to have a mix and have a balance, because where I went, everyone was really quirky and everyone had a passion, but sometimes I felt like that was almost to a fault, because everyone goes into the school with such a strong sense of who they are, of self-identity, and what their passions are, that they feel the need to maintain that because it makes them unique. And because it's a place where everyone is unique, it's almost a place where some people felt the need to be more unique. And so they wanted to hold on to these things rather than open themselves up to new experiences, like maybe, say, someone who went into Columbia who was doing straight A's across the board, who's open to trying maybe any one of those things or to new experiences because they never tried that before. But instead, you have this kind of circus where everyone is doing the same act over and over and over again because it gives them a sense of identity in this crazy, crazy place.
Yeah, well, identity is a very sensitive thing, and I think it's a very sensitive thing in college, during your college years, and I think a lot of times you want to protect that identity.
Right.
Or maybe just doing that circus act of your own passions. But if there was a school system that allowed for sort of the diaspora of disciplines that you can get into, but then also kind of honing in on your own passions, that would be a beautiful balance that I think Cole was trying to get to.
Right. I think we can both agree, and Cole would agree, though, that the standardized testing should just throw that out the window.
Nix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the world would be a much more positive place.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, tune in to hear the rest of our interview with Cole. It's really great. The book is called Towards a More Perfect University. Until next time, well, thanks for tuning in to Third Eye Weekly. I'm your host, Zach.
I'm your host, Lisa.